Hi everyone, it's Bev DeBono, and I want to show you a new way that we can use our border maker cartridges, and it's making a beautiful either a top border, side border, or bottom border. So this could even go down at the bottom, like for a road trip. So what I want to do is first explain the different kinds of border maker cartridges that we have, that Creative Memories has. You see the first two, when they're punched, come out as a chain. Those two are called chain styles. So these two are called chain style because when they punch out, it comes out in a continuous chain. And we have a lot of chain style border maker cartridges. We're not using that one for this class. We used that in the week before. This is a knockout or punch out, these next two, because you see they remain on a strip, but just the design gets punched out. But the ones that we're going to use for this particular technique are called edge style. And what that means is after you punch the cartridge, it remains on the paper and only the edge punches out. So you have to then cut your paper the desired width of what you need. Okay, so it's the edge style that we are looking for. And this happens to be the Rolling Hills one that is featured right there. These were some of the bringbacks that just came back. So we're using an edge style. If you use a style that punches out, like this is a chain style. This was the photo camera photo frame. You see what happens is the middle comes out of it, and you could just use that middle piece and put it back in if you want. Okay, so we're going to be using an edge style border maker cartridge. Now for border maker cartridges, usually when we punch with them, we use our entire system. And I'm going to use the scalloped heart border maker cartridge that came out with the wedding collection recently. And when we usually punch with our border maker cartridges, we put our paper in our paper carrier up until the line here. We flip it back, and the magnetic strip holds the paper in place, and then we just punch 6 punches all the way down. Okay, so this is an edge style, and in this particular one, you get the bonus of getting all these cute little hearts as well. So this is the edge style. But what I want to show you is you can actually use the cartridge itself as a punch. So instead of making a border, a 12-inch border, we can just use the cartridge and the housing as a punch. And in order to do that and to make this great design, what we want to do is to cut some strips that are 4 inches by 4 inches. Okay, so we need strips or squares that are 4 inches by 4 inches. So go ahead and cut 2. This is what we need for this design, 4 inches by 4 inches. Okay. And then what we want to do is, so these are all just various colors of 4 inches by 4 inches. So you'll need 2 of them. You want to take your square and insert it into the housing unit, okay, and make sure that it's evenly distributed so that you have the same amount on both sides that's sticking out, the same amount of paper on both sides that is sticking out. Okay, so you want to make sure that it's nice and even on both sides. So it will be sticking out just a little. You want it to be even on both sides before you punch. Okay, and now make sure your paper is pushed all the way back and punch. Okay, then, so you have one punch this way. Turn your paper to the right, insert it again. Again, make sure that it's evenly distributed in your housing unit and punch again. Okay, turn it again to the right, push it in, make sure it's evenly distributed, punch again, and again, turn to the right, put your paper all the way into the housing, punch it down, and now you have your four sides. Okay, so any punch, any border maker cartridge that you have that's an edge style can punch a border, a 12-inch border, but it can also punch a nice piece that you can use as a decoration or an embellishment. Okay, so this one happens to be the scallop heart. The one on the right is called Rolling Hills. I used the rustic fence for this one. And I used rustic fence again for this one, this time for picking apples. And on this one, I used the on the road, the cars. Okay, so you also want to pick something that you're going to use and that you know, that's going to work with what you have. Okay, so you punched 2 of them now, and now you need a background, a base. And it could be a tonal paper, it could be a piece of cardstock, and we are going to adhere these to our base. And the easiest way to do this is, it's going to end up looking like this. The easiest way to do this is to put it on your 13 by 13 mat and have your point facing the number 3 mark on the bottom and your other point facing the number 3 mark on the side. And then at the top, you want one point to face the 9-inch mark, and on the side, the other point to face the 9-inch mark. Okay, so on your 13 by 13 mat, you can see how easy it is to line it up, and you don't really need to measure so much with a ruler. Of course, if you want to be double safe, you can always take your ruler and measure from your 3-inch mark top to bottom to make sure that your points are evenly distributed. Okay, now I'm taking my repositionable tape and I'm going to now tape the back of my 4-inch squares, which I am putting on the diagonal. You could, if you want, punch 3 of these and actually make these a design that goes up and down. You won't have a lot of spacing in between them, but you see it does make a nice design as well if you don't like the look of it being diagonal. Okay, so I'm going to place the first one, the tip at the 3, the second tip at the 3 on the left. I'm going to put repositionable tape on the next one. And the reason we use repositionable tape is because the tape will only, and I use a silicone mat, the tape will only go, it's in micro dots, will only go where there is paper. Okay, so now this one gets placed at the 9-inch mark and at the 9-inch mark on the side. Okay, and that's actually it. If you want it to go a little higher up, if you want the two pieces touching, you can move them a little bit closer. In this particular one, I might want them touching just a little bit, or not as far apart. There you go. Okay. Now, what you can do is, if you want, you can then just add some mats. And depending on what size your photos are, you can add whatever size mats you you want. This happens to be from the Full of Wonder collection. And I'm going to be adding a title. So you see how fast this page really can come together. And it's really very, very quick. Okay, but I want to show you another variation on this. Let me just put this down real quick so they don't move when I move my pages. So the page just like this is really nice. But if you want to add another layer, you can. And by doing that, I'm going to show you, I'm going to be cutting some pieces that you can then put in between the triangles to pop it even further. Okay, so on this one, my background was really the brown tonal paper. This yellow was actually triangles that I cut after to just make it look a little different. Okay, so this is what it will look like just on its own. So in order to get the triangles, we're going to start off again with 4-inch by 4-inch squares, and you'll need 2 of those again. So let's do a 4-inch. And then I'm going to do 2 more 4 inches. Okay, then I'm going to stack them together, and I'm going to turn the squares so that I have my points, point to point, and I'm going to cut these at the 45-degree angle where the top point is on the cut line and the bottom point is on the cut line. And it lines right up with the 45-degree angle. Okay, so I need 2 of those big ones. And then the other 2 that I have together, line those up and put them all the way to the bottom. You want the longest edge all the way to the bottom and the smallest point on your cut line. All right, so we're cutting that triangle into 4 smaller triangles. Okay, so if you wanted to add another dimension to this page, you would then just add your triangles, and they can go, the big triangles would go near the middle, just like that. And that just adds another layer. And then the smaller triangles, you would put around the outside edges. Okay, and this paper pack was full of wonder, which is beautiful, beautiful paper pack. And I have to say, a lot of the letters that you can use or some of these titles, there is a brand new title group that just came out, which is called Wonderful Day Words, and they are 20 laser titles. And I'll show you, those are all the laser titles: happy, family, smile, together. And what I like about them is not only do you have the dark, like the black or the dark brown, but these white ones, what I love about these lasers is that with your pens, these happen to be like an ivory, with your dot pens or your dual tip pens, you can transform these into any color that you want. So if I have happy every day and I want this in orange, I'll just take my orange dot pen and just color right over it, and it will become another color. Okay, so that's a really great tip on some of these neutral color laser embellishment words. Okay, so that's how you can dress that one up. And like I said, you can have that design go on the side. You can have that design go up at the top. This is the pumpkin one. And you can also, you could make a double page spread, although the design is rather large. But you could, if you wanted to, make a double page spread, and just by adding, again, adding some of your mats to this. Or you could add one of the fun borders that they already have. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed your technique. It's using your border maker cartridge as a 4x4 punch embellishment. Tell me which one you liked the best. Did you like the Full of Wonder Hearts, Rustic Fence Pumpkins, Rustic Fence Apples, or On the Road Travel? Hope to see you again. You'll find many of my videos on Bev DeBono Designs. If you're not currently working with a Creative Memories advisor, please order from my website. The information is in the details. And also, I do support a national team of advisors on my team. Okay, see you again soon. Bye-bye.